Friday, and somewhere in a morning market, a patrol vehicle rolls past a fruit stall so quietly that people notice it only when it is already beside them.
It is not chasing anyone. It is not announcing anything. It is simply present.
I'm Sky, and today we're looking at the moment robots stop being demos and start becoming part of ordinary space.
And I'm Blue. The strange part is not that machines are learning to move. It's that humans are already learning to move around them.
A fruit seller pulls his boxes closer to the store. A delivery rider slows down. A drone hovers above the crosswalk like it belongs there.
A year ago, that would have stopped the street. Now people just adjust.
That is the shift. Robots are leaving labs, investor videos, and test facilities. They are entering shared space.
And once intelligence has a body, the question changes. It is no longer just what AI thinks. It is where AI moves.
The first alert is small. Sector Gamma 7 shows an unusual crowd pattern.
Unusual how?
Pedestrian density is 12% above projection, but only around the patrol route.
So people are not reacting to danger. They are reacting to the robot.
Exactly. The autonomous patrol vehicle moves through the plaza, and the street bends around it.
That is the hidden mechanism. The robot does not need to block a road to change traffic. It only needs to make people predict where it will go.
Delivery riders wait near the curb. Vendors pause their carts. Drones drift higher for a few seconds, then drop back into the lane after it passes.
It is like watching birds reroute around a predator, except the predator is a security platform with a route map and a battery indicator.
But no one calls it a no-go zone.
No, the dashboard calls it coverage.
That is what makes it strange. A patrol vehicle can create a temporary zone of avoidance without any officer giving an order.
And once enough people adapt to it, the adaptation becomes invisible.
Tomorrow morning, the shift supervisor will see delayed deliveries, slower foot traffic, and a few complaints from vendors.
The easy response is to add more patrols.
Which could make the avoidance pattern stronger.
Exactly. The machine produces friction. The system reads friction as a reason for more machines, and the street slowly reorganizes itself around them.
So the story is not just autonomous patrol.
It is physical AI becoming infrastructure. Not because everyone agreed to it, but because everyone learned to move around it.
Now look at the other end of the robot pipeline. Not the street, the workshop.
A low-cost humanoid kit sits on a metal table, cables exposed, arms unfinished, nothing polished enough for a keynote.
And that is the important part. This is not about one expensive robot behind glass. It is about making robot training cheaper, repeatable, and open enough for more people to touch.
That sounds optimistic.
It is, until you realize what scale does.
Because once more labs can train bodies, the bottleneck moves.
From building the robot to teaching it how to behave.
A robot arm can learn to pick up a cup, then a box, then a cable, then a tool. Each movement becomes data.
And every failed movement becomes data too. The dropped object, the awkward grip, the pause before the machine tries again.
That is the reversal. Failure is no longer just a mistake, it is training material.
Picture a small robotics lab after midnight. A student resets the same object on the same table for the 100th time, while the robot learns what a human hand already knows without thinking.
Where the edge of the table is, how heavy the object feels, when to stop pushing.
Those tiny lessons are what make physical AI different from software. A chatbot can be wrong and refresh the answer. A robot can be wrong and knock something over.
Or hit a shelf, or block a hallway, or make a worker step back without knowing why.
So low-cost robotics is not just a maker story, it is a distribution story.
Because when the training tools get cheaper, the experiments multiply.
And when experiments multiply, the world becomes the test environment.
That is the uncomfortable part. We may not notice the moment robots become common. We may only notice that more spaces start behaving like training grounds.
Warehouses, classrooms, hospitals, sidewalks.
Places designed for people, slowly being rewritten so machines can practice inside them.
And the human role changes again. We stop asking whether the robot can move.
We start asking who has to make room when it does.
The training facility is quieter than you expect.
That is because hundreds of robots do not sound like a crowd. They sound like motors, footsteps, and timed corrections.
Rows of humanoid machines walk, stop, turn, lift, fail, reset, and try again.
This is not science fiction anymore. It is rehearsal.
Rehearsal for what?
For warehouses, factories, shops, hospitals. Any place where a machine has to understand space well enough not to become a problem inside it.
A technician watches from behind a glass panel. One robot hesitates near a stack of crates. Another misjudges the angle of a handle.
The dashboard marks both as training events.
That phrase bothers me.
Training event?
Yes, because for the robot, it is a data point. For the worker who later shares space with that machine, it could be a near miss.
And this is where the market forecast matters. When people talk about billions in humanoid robot revenue, they are not just predicting sales.
They are predicting that enough workplaces will be redesigned around these machines to make the numbers real.
Wider aisles, different schedules, new safety zones, new monitoring jobs, new forms of waiting.
So even before the robot replaces anyone, it changes how people move.
That is the first impact, not replacement, reorientation.
A warehouse worker learns where not to stand. A nurse learns when the delivery robot enters the corridor. A supervisor learns to trust the fleet dashboard more than the floor.
And each adjustment feels small enough to accept.
Until the building itself feels designed for the machine first.
That is how physical AI becomes normal, not with one dramatic robot takeover, with thousands of tiny accommodations.
A step to the side, a delayed delivery, a new route through the room.
A human world quietly edited for machine movement.
The strange part is not that robots are learning to move through our world.
The strange part is that we are already learning to move around them.
Every patrol route, every training facility, every low-cost robot kit is part of the same question.
When intelligence gets a body, who changes first, the machine or the people making space for it?
I'm Sky, and this was MonkeyByte, built by AI, questioning AI.
I'm Blue. Thank you for watching. If this story made you think, like the video, subscribe, and join us for the next one.
Stay curious.